Hey, today, so I've got some shorts for you. What am I talking about? Shorter videos, kind of a few put together. Let's check them out. Hey everybody, Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave here, your great real estate agent by your side when it comes time to buy a home, sell a home, or relocate to the Treasure Valley. And you might want to know some of these things I put together in this series of short videos. They're just kind of a mishmash, you know, kind of like cleaning leftovers out of the refrigerator. Let's just get right to them. Hey y'all, let's take a quick look at this story here from the Epoch Times. Home sales see record July cancellations as home mortgage rates weigh on buyers. Well, this sounds a little ominous, huh? What's going on here? A growing share of U.S. home sales collapsed in July as wary buyers pulled back. So this is a nationwide look, but I imagine that there's a little bit of truth to this in every part of the country, right? 58,000 purchase agreements fell apart last month, equal to more than 15% of the homes that went under contract. So I have seen other places that a big part of this is that homes, like in California, cannot get insurance, or the insurance cost is so astronomical that people can no longer afford the payment. The highest cancellation rate for July since the company began tracking the data in 2017. So 8 years now, and it's the highest. Texas and Florida saw one of the most scrapped contracts. But I thought that's where everybody was moving to. I wonder what's going on with that. Real estate agents say buyers are taking advantage of a market where listings linger longer, giving them time to keep shopping or back out during inspections. The most common reasons buyers back out are cold feet, high standards, and inspection issues, according to this real estate agent in Cleveland. She added that cancellations are especially common in borrowers using FHA or VA loans. Because on those, the houses have to meet higher criteria. So what do you guys think? You're going to buy something and then back out? Or is there something more troubling going on? Big problems facing homeowners. Again, of course, homeowners face hidden equity tax. 3 big proposals could rewrite the rules. What does this mean? And who's got a target on their back? Tax rule that hasn't been updated since 1997, ensnaring millions of homeowners in a hidden home equity tax. Today, roughly 1 in 3, 1/3 of the sellers risk paying capital gains tax on their home equity. And by 2030, that's only 5 years away, more than half the homeowners could be exposed. And I tell you what, I don't want to be exposed. The problem is most acute for retirees and long-time owners. Yikes, many of whom face 5-figure bills on what experts call phantom gains, profits partly created by inflation, not true wealth. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's a Congress lady out of Georgia, has introduced a plan to eliminate the tax entirely on primary residential sales. Donald Trump has signaled support for this. So the $17 trillion is being held by baby boomers in their real estate, in their homes they've had, and they can't afford to move out because where are they going to go? And then they face risk, these big taxes once they do sell. So what's the government to do to get all that $17 trillion, or at least a good chunk of it? They're going to create all these different taxes. They're going to force you to sell your house and move you to the poorhouse. Maybe I can get you a good deal on an old refrigerator box down in the alley. So when it's a hot day out, what are you going to do? You're going to go underwater. No, but not with your house. So Realtor.com tells us that homeowners are underwater again, but this time it isn't 2008. So what are they saying? Says you bought your home 2 years ago and now it's worth less than the remaining balance of your mortgage. You thought that wasn't supposed to happen anymore because of the increased lending scrutiny. But in parts of Texas and Florida, a growing number of homeowners now owe more on their mortgage than their property is worth, a situation known as being underwater. Well, that doesn't sound cool. The headlines are enough to stir uneasy memories of the mid-2000s housing bubble when plunging prices left millions of owners facing foreclosure. But the story is different this time. So let's relax just a little bit. Let's take it back a notch. Nationally, homeowners are sitting on near record levels of equity. Yay! The critical difference from 2009, back then negative equity, that means the value was less than people owed on their places. Back then, negative equity was a nationwide crisis touching nearly every market. Today, it's much smaller in scale, concentrated in only a handful of markets, and driven by a very different set of forces. So what does this mean for you? Still, for the homeowners who do owe more on the property than it's worth, the pressure is real. Maybe. So it can limit their ability to sell, refinance, or move. And in some cases, it can feel like a crisis in its own right. So there's the thing. If you don't have to move, if you can put off moving, then there is no crisis. Yes, there is a period of time there a few years ago that if you bought, you still do owe more on your house than what you could sell it for now. So if you don't have to move, I'd say don't move. If you do have to move, just know that it's going to be tough because you're not going to make as much as you thought you were going to. So that's what it is. Stay in your home if you can, but the pressure is real. Let's say that you're in one of those places like California and Gavin's coming for you. Well, maybe you do want to get out before he actually gets you. So just know that it's going to be painful. But rip that Band-Aid off, get out of California, and find someplace nice. Come to Idaho. Come back to America. Hey, Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave, treasurevalleydave.com. Got a story here from our local news, Channel 2 out of Boise. Or is it Boise? Idaho contractors see little impact from immigration policies, and they still face a worker shortage. It's a pretty interesting story. Construction companies across the nation are grappling with a significant worker shortage, and I believe that's probably true. And it seems like it's even made worse by Trump's immigration policies. Boo, the mainstream media didn't like that. However, Idaho contractors report less impact, with only 8% citing it is a staffing issue due to immigration enforcement compared to 33% nationwide. So yeah, nationwide, they're having a huge problem. Despite this, the story goes, Idaho contractors are still struggling to hire, with a third experiencing project delays due to the shortage. Project delays, well, the longer it takes, the more expensive it is to build, the harder it is for the economy to grow. And we want the economy to do well, right? So contractors, by and large, they are struggling to fill open positions primarily due to unqualified applicants. So what's the fix for this? Well, this industry expert, he says that the industry has to get involved and capture those students and be willing to accept new entrants into the organization to train and develop them. If we could do this in a joint effort across the country, that would solve our problem. To combat the shortage, raising pay is out there and investing in professional development and training. These are high-paying jobs, this expert says, that literally will break the poverty cycle for some families. And to bring it back here to local, Boise State's Construction Management School started a year with record enrollment, reflecting a growing interest in these fields. So on the one hand, that's some really great news. Jobs are opening up, jobs that are not just minimum wage burger flipper jobs, but jobs that can actually transform families, that teach a skill, that use a valuable skill. So these jobs are jobs that, are like transformational. They could take a family out of barely scraping by and make them middle class. Wouldn't that be great? What is it that's stopping people from doing this? Well, one, they've gone through public education and bless their hearts, they've been more indoctrinated than anything else. They think everything's supposed to just be given to them on a silver platter. I'm not saying you, but you know who I'm talking about, right? Those mindsets are changing. They have to change. And here's the perfect opportunity for them to change. We have trades. And, we're not just saying that you have to be out there slinging a hammer on top of a roof. It could be, there's so many different aspects of construction and housing and, commercial buildings and things like that. Just get out there and get educated. People want you to succeed. I want you to succeed. Hey, Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave here. www.treasurevalleydave.com. Here with another story. I just saw this. This is a story from mortgage industry insiders, and they want to share that mortgage fraud has surged in the second quarter. That's 2025. Despite the headlines, occupancy fraud held steady. So there are other kinds of mortgage fraud going on, but occupancy fraud is staying right up there at the top. One of the biggest mortgage-related headlines in 2025 has been the rise of mortgage fraud. Wow, where have we heard that from? Oh, I don't know. The Federal Reserve Governor, Lisa Cook, maybe Letitia James from up there in New York, or what was her name? Fannie Willis down there in Georgia. Didn't they all get accused of mortgage fraud? So apparently mortgage fraud, the occupancy fraud, had been skyrocketing in the last few years. I don't know, maybe Democrats felt empowered under Biden that they weren't going to get in trouble. It's kind of what it seems like just from looking at the news. This year it's down a little bit, but like this guy says here, this industry expert, it doesn't mean that it's not still really a high number and kind of a rampant thing, meaning it's still going on like crazy. To wit, occupancy fraud is still a problem. It's been in the news lately as President Trump is attempting to remove Fed Governor Lisa Cook due to allegations of mortgage occupancy fraud. It's still in the top of the frauds, and it has been jumping year over year. At some point, it has to plateau or start to decline. This expert says the reasons for that are probably really tough to pinpoint. It's probably just reached that precipice where it's gotten so high it can't go any higher, and it's bound to go down. So when you're looking to buy a place, don't do a fraud. I mean, yeah, you can go to California, Washington, D.C., or apparently Georgia, and you could do fraud there and probably get away with it for some period of time. But at some point, someone's got to pay the piper. So just be real clear on everything that you're doing. Make sure you're talking with a great lender. I've got great lenders that I can refer to you. And let's keep your butt out of jail. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by today, and hope you got some value out of some of these short videos I put together. Do you like this format? I'd like to know. Leave some comments down below. It might be a little bit quicker and easier to digest than those big hour-long videos. I sometimes get a little long-winded, like I am right now. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by. And if there's anything Maureen and I can help you with as far as your real estate needs go right here in Idaho, please let us know. Until then, we'll see you on the next video.